downright cold outside on this November evening, but all good here inside as we welcome you to Minneapolis, Minnesota. Tonight, it's a good Week 9 matchup here on a Monday night between the San Francisco 49ers and the Minnesota Vikings. First 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final two bring us as we're off in Week 9?
A fairly short kick from the 14. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line.
The Niners take over 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line.
They start on the ground here at Sanders. It's a loss of 4 on that first play, and it's 2nd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the head linesman. Incomplete, so the ball a little late getting there, and it's 3rd down.
Man coverage is certainly a staple of their defense, and it's built for plays like that, forcing that incompletion.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down.
Here's Tommy Townsend on to punt.
And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And this will be taken at the 13. Call that one an even 60 yards, 6-0. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. They'll start out on the ground. It's Saquon Barkley. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10.
Well, this defense for the Niners, they put together a strong effort last week in the win over Chicago.
And one of the key things you always look for when you're evaluating a defense is how opportunistic are they? How many takeaways do they get per game? And how about last week's game? That number, 6. Absolutely phenomenal performance. They were on top of their game right from the first snap.
28 yards the gain there on the catch and run.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. It's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice 1st down. Drive keeps moving.
Ready, set.
Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. It's hauled in by Brandon Cooks.
The Vikings at 500 now, 4-4 on the year. And they were winners their last time out, so they'll be looking to make it 2 in a row.
And so much about football, partner, comes down to mindset. Being in the right frame of mind, and the best way to get in that good frame of mind, winning. So they come in feeling good. They've got the home crowd behind them. And I think they're going to be tough to beat in this one.
43 rail.
2nd and 1.
They're looking for Jefferson, but this is intercepted. Picked off by L'Jarius Sneed. And the Niners are going to take over here up near the 40. So a first interception thrown for him there, and that really not the best decision either.
Not at all, and that's something he did not do in their victory last week. No interceptions in that game, but this defense, they're able to take advantage of an early mistake. Now let's see if they're going to turn it into points.
It'll be Sanders to begin the drive. Room here to run. There he goes left side. 20.
scouting report meeting, this was the explosiveness that they talked about trying to contain. They were concerned about it all week, yet he still did it to them. Wonder how that's going to carry over the rest of the game.
Extra point by Bass, up and good.
And that makes the score 7-0.
Vikings, nothing.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards.
At their own 21-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, wound up leading to a touchdown the other way. How do you approach drive number 2?
Going back to your game plan coming in, everyone has matchups that they like better than others. Where they think they have an advantage, dial up some of those plays. Try and go to those spots and get your offense moving.
So they accept the penalty, of course, and push the offense backwards a bit.
And now after the delay of game, they're operating behind the sticks, 2nd and 15.
Ready?
The play action fake. They'll look to throw.
Oh, into a sea of defenders and intercepted.
Trey Flowers picks it.
And the 49ers are going to take possession of the football.
CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
They'll start out here with the option left.
Fields hit and the ball is loose.
Points 1, 2, and 3 in their defensive game plan was to get to the quarterback and knock the ball free. They did it there. Luckily, offense hangs on to it.
Yeah, that's got to serve as a wake-up call, though, because they can't afford to let the ball go over to the defense and miss opportunities. And I'm not saying it happened here, but you know what a good rule of thumb is when a play like that occurs? You know who usually recovers it? The guy who missed his block and let his quarterback get hit.
Give him 2 yards. That sets him up 1st and goal.
It's nice every now and then in this game not to see people overthink it. Just hand it to the old reliable guy. Let him pick up the 1st down.
They'll run with Sanders. And that'll move him a little closer as he takes it from the 7 down to the 4-yard line.
That's good power football on 1st and goal. A lot of teams will throw from there, but that's a nice job to chew up a few more yards and get yourself closer to the goal line.
On 2nd and goal. Fields. This is caught. Touchdown. Dalton Schultz, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Niners lead this now 13-0 here in the opening quarter of the ball game.
Extra point by Bass, up and good.
And it's now 14-0.
14. Vikings, nothing.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
Here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down officially at the 21.
At their own 21-yard line.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway.
4-4, their record through 8 games on the season. Would you say that this team has overperformed, underperformed, or are they kind of right where you thought that they would be?
Do you mind if I say yes, yes, and yes? Because ultimately to me, 4-4 is about where they should be, because we've seen weeks where they've been really, really good. They've looked terrific. Other weeks where we've wondered just how good is this team.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Trey Flowers picks it. So a big chunk of yardage will be marked off there for that PI call.
And now you know why receivers and the guys throwing the ball, they like to collaborate and just heave it up sometimes, because you can get these types of calls that go against the defense. Pass interference, and they gain over 30 yards of real estate on that one.
And that'll be good for 8 yards to the 45. Well, you're down early. How do you get back in the game? Maybe establish the run. I think they're trying to do that.
Now, I'm with you on that one, and what I like about the message is that there's no panic from the head coach. He's already told his offensive coordinator, let's run the football, let's get things settled down a little bit and find our way back into this game.
And his throw's going to be incomplete. Well, that's a perfect example of how he was named NFC Defensive Player of the Week from last week's game. He is just all around the football right now, isn't he?
That he is, and it's funny because I talked with the coaching staff about drills that they do in practice, and one of them is called matching hands. And as soon as that hand is launched by the quarterback, you throw up the opposite hand and match that hand with the QB, and oftentimes you're able to knock it away, as we just saw there.
After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2. Now they'll throw here out of the gun, and that will be incomplete.
Nice back-to-back plays defensively. They're stacking momentum now. 1 incompletion, 2 incompletion. They're going for more.
So on 4th down, on is the punter, Ryan Wright.
Jamal Agnew is deep to return it. He was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. They've got things going their way early. 14-0 lead and the football. 1st and 10. Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. Maybe a little over-anxious in the pocket there. He just didn't look comfortable on that throw.
No, he didn't, because it wasn't his normal fluid delivery. But I think he might have had it right. Wasn't really confident with what he saw downfield, and almost felt like he wanted to pull that one back.
Again from the 20 after the incompletion. Here's 2nd and 10.
Here's Fields. That one caught downfield by Watson.
Well, he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. Touchdown, 49ers.
Boy, still in the first quarter, and look out. I mean, they are on pace for over 80 points in this game. I don't know that they'll get there, CD, but this has been impressive to watch so far.
That certainly would be history in the making, wouldn't it, partner? I'm glad we're here to actually watch and see if it actually happens, although, like you, I have my doubts, but they are firmly in control of this game.
Extra point by Bass, up and good.
And that makes the score 21-0.
So how about this for a start? 21-0 here in the first as they kick this one away. And this is going to be returned from middle of the end zone. And he will be brought out here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17.
At their own 17-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And they are right at the 500 mark on the year and got there with a victory a week ago.
And I think right now I put myself in the shoes of the head coach and say, all right, time to reset a little bit. And I don't give my team a win one for the Gipper speech, but I do say, look, we haven't played our best football yet, but we are at 500 and we're still in it. Let's try and string a few of these victories together, and we're capable of doing so.
And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop it behind the line.
A loss of a yard. It's
Now a timeout called for by the offense. So as they take it over, we step aside. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. (21-0) our score after one.
Niners 21, Vikings nothing.
And here's Ryan Wright now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. It's just a 30-yard punt that time, no return. And the Niners set up well. They take over 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. They hand off to their big tight end. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down.
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense. A little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them, but they did do a nice job there, forcing a loss on that play.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13.
Play action. It's Fields.
He'll take a shot for the end zone.
And, it's incomplete. That would have been 6 points, but somehow he couldn't rein it in.
Well, it hasn't been a banner first half for the defense trying to cover him today, but they'll take that one right there, helping force that incompletion.
Play action, Fields.
And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A big play there as they get the conversion on 3rd and 13.
Well, things are definitely going right for them here in the first half. Pick it down, any down, even 3rd down, no problem. They get a connection there and pick up a fresh set of downs, continuing to move the ball.
Now a 1st down throw, Fields. That's caught right side by Mims.
And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. This game not quite as good as the last, but still over 40 yards between the two. 2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit them, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal.
Fields now to throw. A quick throw there, going to be batted away and incomplete.
That's a really nice job there by the coverage, understanding that they're in a high-stakes situation. If he doesn't make a play on that ball, there's an excellent chance it ends up either as a touchdown or as a nice gain downfield.
They'll try again here from the 7 on 2nd and goal. They'll run with Sanders up the middle. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco. Miles Sanders with career touchdown number 70.
And the Niners continue to pull away here in this first half. Well, you talk about a team coming into an opposing stadium and just taking the life right out of a crowd. That's what we're witnessing here. 27-0 Charles.
And this defense, they just look completely unprepared for what's been thrown at them. And you know they're supposed to adjust series to series. That has not happened for them, so I don't think halftime adjustments are going to help a heck of a lot. They are in major trouble unless they figure out something really fast.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25.
Here we go.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway.
These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even...
And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted. Dante Jackson picks it. And into the end zone. A pick six for the 49er D as they score the touchdown.
I cannot imagine a more perfect half of football for one side, CD, and a more disastrous half of football for another side. But if you focus on the positive half, with this pick six, you look at where that lead is at, and to think that we are only in the second quarter. My goodness.
I love the expression. My goodness, indeed. Pretty obvious. It's a free fall out there. Everybody gets a chance to make a play. And if you're on the field, you've got a great chance of being the next guy that your teammates are celebrating.
The return man down to a knee, and this will come out to the 25-yard line.
Ready up.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
And not the first time that they're coming back out off of a turnover, but the last one really hurt Charles with that pick six.
And it feels like the whole team's infected right now, doesn't it? It's not just been one person. It's kind of been a group effort where the mistakes have happened. Can they put that aside, kind of start over, and put together a nice drive?
Ready.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. It's Barkley on the counter, and the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up second down.
I have a feeling they'll stay committed to running the football, especially on their early downs. They just haven't had a whole lot of success just yet.
Here we go.
After the loss, they'll come up 2nd and 13.
Ready.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
On the double.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. On play action, they'll throw. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
We've watched this a long time, and I still don't believe we get it. 3rd and long, why are you calling play action?
Yeah, because they're not going to bite defensively, right?
No, not at all. I did have a coach explain to me years ago that for some teams, that's how they have to deal with pass protection and their line blocking. But to me, it seems silly.
Yeah, well, they're silly, and it leads to a play-action sack. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. On the return, here's Agnew. A big boot that time. 57 yards, the official distance. And the Niners will go on offense. 1st and 10.
At their own 18-yard line.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway.
Well, everything right now that they touch on this side of the football, it seems to turn to gold. They've scored on 3 straight possessions. That lead continues to grow. And, I mean, if they can get points here, Charles, it might almost be an insurmountable comeback for the other side.
I think you make a great case for that. So I'm going to flip it over to the other side. Could they make the big comeback? Certainly. Am I expecting it? Not at all. I think if we don't see a drastic change in how they're playing, this blowout's going to get bigger and bigger before the final gun.
He's got a man complete. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45.
38 yards on the play. And the 49er first down.
On 1st and 10, it's Sanders. And he works his way forward to pick up 4 yards there. 2nd down.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Back to throw. Fields. This is caught. It's Christian Watson. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Viking 16.
24-yard gain on the play.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Open receiver here, complete, it's Parker. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco. Devontae Parker, a 16-yard touchdown.
And the Niners have taken a 6-touchdown lead. Tyler Bass now for the point after.
And the route is on here in this first half.
Next to score, Niners 42, Vikings nothing.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
They'll elect to bring it out here from the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback.
Their own 19-yard line.
Here we go.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw.
And he's got this to Jefferson.
And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. It's a gain of 16, and the Vikings have the first down as well. It's been a very one-sided game so far. They got to change what they're doing right now, don't they? You can't wait till the halftime speech to make an adjustment.
No, you can't, because if you're doing it right, you're adjusting from series to series, and they need a big adjustment here to try and put some points on the board.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They'll set up to throw. And down he goes. The 49ers get there. Sacked there by Jadeveon Clowney.
Brought down back at the 24-yard line.
So we are at halftime here on a Monday night as we'll head down to Orlando. That's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin.
The Vikings set to receive the second half kickoff, and they trail it here as we resume play. And the half will begin with a touchback.
Okay,
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And they have a mountainous deficit looming in front of them. It was really, Charles, a disaster of a first half. So where do they go from here?
The first thing you have to remember is that what's done is done, and there's no going back. And now you have to play this drive by drive. Obviously, come back in this spot, pretty unlikely. But you still have to go out, take pride in your work, and try and put something together here in the second half.
He'll look to throw. He dumps it off to Barkley. And he is going to lose yardage here. Just a 1-yard loss that time, but that's not what they needed. Now they're dealing with a 3rd and long.
It looked like the defense, they were ready for that one.
Really left him almost no room to work after catching the ball. He could throw every move in the book at him. They were there, and they tackle him for a loss.
So it's 3rd and long, and defensively not a real surprise. They're in the dime. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked by Emmanuel Mosley.
And the Niners are going to take possession of the football.
Well, I think everyone who's watching was certainly hoping to see things get a little bit better for them in this half, aren't we? But it was a downright miserable first half that's carried over with an interception to begin the second half. That's a defeated offense right there, and there's still a lot of game left. I don't think that's the last turnover we're going to see today, partner.
And they'll try the option on 1st and goal.
And he'll take this into the end zone for a San Francisco touchdown.
Justin Fields.
A 3-yard run as he kept it himself.
And the Niners are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. An extra point by Bass, up and good.
And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. The 49ers ready to kick it away, and here we go.
The Vikings take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway.
Well, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable now. A win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Okay,
The last run got 9. That leaves him with 2nd and a yard. They'll look to throw. And now here is another interception. Picked off by Jerome Baker. And into the end zone. A pick 6 for the 49er D as they score the touchdown.
Well, I mean, you get it. They're trying to make something happen here in this 3rd quarter, CD, but I don't think a pick 6 is exactly what they had in mind.
No, not at all, because this offense, they've been stuck all game long. Haven't done the scoreboard yet, and they're kind of forced to take a few chances here, and that one, it backfired in a big way.
So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air.
And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line.
At their own 25-yard line.
Let's go.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
It's a game that they would rather probably forget about, at least to this point, Charles. And one reason is turnovers. A turnover on the last drive. They had the issue in the first half as well, and that's really, unfortunately for them, helped to put this game out of reach.
And you know they won't want to admit it to themselves, but we know that winning the game is pretty much out of the picture now. So their bottom line is, how do they play a clean game the rest of this one, right? Take care of the football, no more turnovers, and see how that works.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
Well, they certainly aren't letting up today, partner, because they've forced big turnovers already, and it's been incredibly tough for them to get yards against, let alone put points up on the board.
After an incomplete pass on second down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. And my goodness, another interception. Dante Jackson picks it, and the 49ers are going to take possession of the football. Boy, so another interception, CD. It feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his second season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
And over the middle, this is Parker. And they're going to work this down to about the 32-yard line.
And if anyone thinks they're just going to tuck their horns in and pull back off the throttle a little bit, you can forget it. Even with this big third-quarter lead, I think this team's going to continue to take their shots downfield, and there's another completion.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Fields.
And he hauls it in the end zone. Touchdown, San Francisco. Jamal Agnew, 32 yards.
And the 49ers get another third-quarter touchdown to add on to that lead. Extra point by Bass, up and good.
And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. The 49ers ready to kick it away, and here we go.
And this will be a touchback, so they'll bring it out to the 25.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway.
Well, this has been a tough one for them, Charles. They've struggled really on both sides of the football. And one thing that's really plagued them, the turnovers. They've had issues keeping the football in their possession.
And every game that's ever been played, all coaches talk about taking care of the football and limiting turnovers. And in this one, after we saw that first turnover, we worried that things would snowball, and it certainly did, especially on the scoreboard.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. On the draw, this is Barkley. And he powers his way up past the 30. Call it a gain of 5 that time, and they'll be left with a 3rd and about 4.
This defense just continues to bottle up that ground game. And look, I mean, the deficit right now for this offense is so big that it might not matter. But you're still in the third quarter. They're probably going to have to try things through the air, Charles.
I agree with you totally. That's what they'll have to do. They do need to run it occasionally to take a few hits off the quarterback, because right now, you just know those pass rushers are fired up to get after him. On 3rd down, that's a good job of situational football and understanding where the first down marker was and getting there.
So a solid run by Saquon Barkley, and another 1st and 10 here. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And he's going to bull his way forward to the 48. 8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple. Again, it's Barkley. And nowhere to run on the interior of that defensive line. He'll get back only to the line of scrimmage.
They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here.
They'll go to the air here on 3rd and 2.
That pass complete to Deontay Hardy.
And this will move the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the 49ers' 32-yard line. Forget the run on 3rd and 1. They shock the D and rip off a pretty big play. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. On the jet sweep, they get this to Cooks. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
Let's just make this one succinct. Nice job there. All 11 guys on defense diagnosing the jet sweep and putting it down.
Third quarter on a Monday night with a 2nd and 10 coming up.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Oh, he'll want that one back. Incomplete. He doesn't drop too many in that department. Third down.
Well, partner, they've certainly played up to their top 10 defensive ranking this week. They've stifled this opposing offense throughout this game. This contest is now lopsided because of their efforts, and there's still a quarter to go.
It's been a pretty long drive. This will be play number 9, and they need 10 yards out of it on third. A give to Barkley out of the gun. And they're going to get him down well short of the first as he can only get this to the 30.
Partner, that's another short run there, and I think the easy thing is to look at him right now and say, let's get away from him entirely. Let's start throwing the football, but I don't think you ever entirely abandon the run. It helps set a tone for the game for you, keeps your offensive linemen feeling good about themselves, and it actually tamps down a defense's pressure because if you just throw it all the time, it's going to tee off with the pass rush.
And this is not going to be anywhere close. No good, way wide to the left.
Always disappointing when you miss a field goal, but when you're playing against a defense this good, you and I both know that's a crucial miss because you can't afford to leave any points out there. You've got to take them when you can.
They'll start on the ground here on first down.
And a pretty good burst there as he'll get this across midfield and down to the 46.
1 quarter remains here as we wrap up the week on a Monday night. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Right back to Sanders on first down. And he picks up about 6 as he gets this down to the 41.
Well, partner, Marvin, our #1 stats guy just handed me a little card that says he has 97 yards on the ground today. You think he's going to get the ball again?
I think so. 3 away from that century mark. Got to have it.
Yeah, and I think what they're going to call is one of his favorite runs, whatever he feels comfortable with, and what the offensive line has executed well today to try and get him over 100 yards.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4.
From the gun, here's Fields. Targets Parker, and he's got him on the crossing route.
And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 21. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
Tell you what, partner, the way he's been slinging it in this one, I think he should be ticketed for a baseball cap and a set of headphones for the next drive. He's been absolutely sensational. But one thing we've both learned about quarterbacks in this league, they often stay on the field longer than you expect.
And across the chalk into the end zone. It's a 49er touchdown.
Justin Fields.
His 2nd touchdown of the night.
And the 49ers are closing in on a 3rd straight win as they widen the gap further here in the 4th quarter. Here's Bass now for the extra point.
And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead.
Makes the score Niners 70, Vikings nothing.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20.
At their own 20-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. At this point, partner, things looking pretty bleak. They still haven't scored here in the 4th quarter, facing the big deficit. Silver linings, what can they look to do here offensively?
You know, it's funny, I talked about this with a coach in the offseason and kind of had this scenario, like what feels good to you and what feels good to your team. You're down big. You really have like 1 possession left, and you're trying to put points on the board that don't matter. But do that? And he told me they actually do matter. And in this situation, he's going to try and run the best offense he can run, have at least a little bit of confidence to take away from that game. So right now, they're going to try their best to get something up on the board and not get shut out.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've struggled to the tune of 2 for 8 so far. This is 3rd and 10. And now here is another interception.
Pick Picked off by L'Jarius Sneed.
And into the end zone. A pick six for the 49er D as they score the touchdown.
Well, what has been a fantastic game for this defense has been rough for this offense, and certainly a signal caller, Charles, that's thrown all these interceptions. Another one there, and this one taken all the way back for the score.
Partner hoping there are those nice little spot in the post-game highlights to show this rip of interceptions and great plays this group has made. They've been on it from snap one.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six, and now the kick is away.
And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line.
They're on 17-yard line.
Here we go.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway.
I hate to say it, but at this point, I don't really know that they're playing to win with this deficit in the fourth quarter. They're just trying to erase that zero on the scoreboard, Charles, and get some type of momentum to carry into the film session tomorrow.
If you get any type of points on the board, it'll count as a moral victory, although no one will talk about that in the post-game press conference. That's not something you mentioned in the NFL. And this loss, it already stings and will for a while, but everyone on that offense knows it'll sting a lot worse if they don't put some points up on the board.
And out of bounds across the 15-yard line. Pulling a gain of 3 on the play. And that brings up third and a full 10 yards. And my goodness, another interception.
Picked up by Javon Holland.
Well, partner, I got to tell you, I'm trying to think of something positive to say for this offense, but I'd have to be a spin doctor for that one. This has been a tough performance to watch.
And I think it's hard at this point to actually identify what's really gone wrong. I guess the catch-all is everything. Doesn't sound like real sharp analysis, but I don't have much else for you.
And the scoreboard just lopsided, and it's been ugly from the get-go. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
That gives him 98 yards in this game, and he's got to feel pretty good about that, but the entire offense does. The big thing, though, Brandon, they've got to get to 100, though.
You think he knows he's at 98?
I think someone has told him by now, and here's the thing. Getting to 100.
And it's complete. In the end zone. Touchdown, 49ers.
Well, when coaches come into a game preaching total team effort, CD, I think this is the type of ball game that they're dreaming of. It was pretty apparent early on that they were clicking in all 3 phases. It's been fun to watch.
Yeah, sometimes in the NFL you end up with matchups like we've been watching here. And when you go back to the early drives, you can just see that one squad was on a different level in this game. Safe to say, we have been disappointed in watching their execution throughout this contest.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
And it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt to return. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one. I think this offense, specifically this running game, they're going to have to find a way to turn the page because they haven't found a way to run it effectively thus far, and it's cost them.
Running again with Barkley on 2nd down. And he'll manage only a couple here up to the 25.
You know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
Every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
And here's Ryan Wright now
as he's on to punt for the 4th time tonight. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away.
And that'll be a return of 12 following a very nice punt.
And that will come the offense as they take over.
46-yard line.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway.
Well, they don't really need the points here, Charles, given what we're looking at on the scoreboard, but they've scored on 3 consecutive possessions, 3 consecutive drives, and I'm sure that they would like to keep that streak going here and continuing to pour it on.
And things have gotten that way in the NFL, haven't they, partner? Because in the old days, people would, they'd get off the gas a little bit, right? But now, people continue to accelerate, but we'll see what they decide to do as they come out for this one. But the way that this game has gone, they've got to be awfully happy with their execution overall.
He finds Watson. It's caught. And he'll head out of bounds inside the 10. Mark him down at the 9. That one goes for 16 yards. It sets him up 1st and goal. Up the middle they go with Sanders. He pushes forward for maybe 3 down to the 6-yard line. He's hit pay dirt a lot this year, but not that time.
Yeah, I'm tracking right there with you. You're exactly right. He's found the end zone plenty of times. No way I can find any fault with the call. He may not have scored there, but of course you're going to give it to him.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's 49er football here as we get you reset. They've got a 2nd and goal now as they look to add a few more points here onto their total. They come up here with another shot from the 6-yard line, and it's 2nd and goal now. Once again with Sanders. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
Now Fields on 3rd and goal. Catch is made. It's Schultz on the out route.
And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. Even though they've got this big advantage, Charles, they are not taking their foot off the gas pedal right now.
Well, I think what we're seeing is the result of all their great preparation and great practice time during the week. And even though it seems like this is a great chance to pull people back and maybe, not try and score a few more times, they don't want to do that. I think they're enjoying what they're seeing, the collective effort, and they want to play it all the way out.
And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway.
Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out?
And now here is another interception.
Picked up by Javon Holland. And the Niners are going to take possession of the football.
Yet another mistake after the interception there. And guys, you look up at the scoreboard, they just got to be thinking this one cannot get over fast enough.
It certainly can't. And also what happens when you get this big of a deficit, you're supposed to make all the right throws, right? You're supposed to try and obviously get the ball to your own guys. But being down this big, you also take even more chances. And in this situation, that hasn't paid off for them at all.
On the other sideline, jubilation and laughter. Now it looks like he'll throw here. He finds Corey Davis.
And he'll be brought down at the 27.
A gain of 16 yards. First down.
Fields on 1st down.
Looking for the end zone.
And this ball incomplete. Looked very much to be a catchable ball and could not hang on. 2nd down coming up.
Up huge on the scoreboard, and they're still trying to add to their total. That shot doesn't connect, but I don't think it'll dissuade them from attempting another one.
On play action, Fields.
And give them another 6. It's caught for a touchdown, and the blowout continues.
Bass on for the extra point.
Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. The 49ers ready to kick it away, and here we go.
And this will not be returned. It's a touchback, and they'll begin at the 25.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
We said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
Give him 2 yards that time, and it's going to leave him with a 3rd and 11 situation. Now San Francisco going to call their second timeout. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play.
A 3rd down now. Those last 2 plays indicative of how things have gone for them. Just nowhere to go on the ground and struggling to put up points.
And my goodness, another interception.
Picked up by Javon Holland.
Yes, folks, that is his 3rd interception, and I'm going to use one of the most overused phrases in football. He's a ball-hawking safety.
I love the way that you called for the shot there. That's perfect, though, because there is something to that. Being a safety often allows you freedom to roam around a defense, maybe not a specific assignment. Today, his assignment, find the football, and he's done so quite well.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
And we'll see a return here from the end zone. And that final kickoff concludes the ball game, partner. And one side, a really nice win in this one. They were good on offense and on defense.
And I'm guessing in the other locker room, partner, the head coach is just telling his team, hey, we didn't play well enough to keep it close enough. Where that one possession down the stretch might have given us an opportunity to win the game.
So for San Francisco, the win will help